Hello and welcome to Simply South. I'm Harish Upadhyaya. This is the show that gets you the flavor of South India. And our top story this week comes from Tamil Nadu. It's a relaunch of political activity for the TVK. Vijay addressed a massive rally in Erode, hit out against the DMK, said DMK was evil and TVK was pure. But surprisingly, he sidestepped talking about crucial issues that have been in the headlines from Tamil Nadu over the last few weeks. Does this now help the TVK negate all the criticism and bad press that they had got after the Karur stampede? And what's the road ahead for Vijay and the political calculation ahead of the elections next year? We'll debate all that, but first the report.
திமுக ஒரு தீய சக்தி திமுக ஒரு தீய சக்தி திமுக ஒரு தீய சக்தி திமுக ஒரு தீய சக்தி தீய சக்தி தீய சக்தி தீய சக்தி என் நெஞ்சில் குடியிருக்கும் ஈரோடு மக்களே, டிவிகே ஒரு தூய சக்தி. எப்படி? டிவிகே ஒரு தூய சக்தி.
After more than 80 days since the Karur tragedy, TVK chief Vijay kickstarts a campaign in Tamil Nadu. This time from Erode district. This district is a stronghold of ousted AIA-DMK leader Sengottayan. Vijay reiterated his pitch that the 2026 elections in the state will be between the DMK and the TVK. Having learned its lessons from the Karur episode, TVK made adequate arrangements this time around. Water bottles and caps were distributed to the crowd.
அருமையா அண்ணா ஏற்பாடு பண்ணியிருக்காரு. எங்களுக்கு எந்த ஒரு நிதி இல்லாமல் எல்லாமே ஃப்ரீயாக நல்லா நீட்டாக இருக்குதுங்க.
ஃபுல்லாகவே இது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அண்ட் லேடிஸ் ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸ்க்கு கரெக்டாக கொடுத்துருக்காங்க.
So they are saying that ever since the Karur stampede, measures are taken by the TVK, especially for women, and they say that water bottles are given, and with Sengottayan now being part of the TVK, he's also tried to organize this pretty well because he's known to be good at organizing events. So this event, they hope, is going to be a success.
DMK slams Vijay over Karur stampede, calls TVK a murder machine.
When he went to Karur, he said that he will address the gathering at 12 o'clock. People started gathering from 9 o'clock. He came there at 7:30. People were made to stand in the scorching sun without water and food. Hundreds of people fainted. 41 people died because of Vijay's delayed presence there. And I call Vijay as a murder force, not a genuine force.
After Vijay, he praised on MGR and excluded other Dravidian icons like Periyar and Annadurai. AIA-DMK also lashed out at Vijay.
Vijay's rally gives an impression that Vijay and his party are desperate to impersonate AIA-DMK, its founder leaders. If such being the case, a newly founded party which cannot promote its ideology, nor it is able to give any key takeaways like how he is going to face the upcoming elections, and with the same rhetoric of criticism alone, I wonder how it is going to give the desired results. If they want to impersonate, I wouldn't be surprised Vijay appearing in front of the public in his next rally as our founder leader MGR.
For now, TVK is planning similar campaigns across the state. The party makes it clear that its political enemy is the DMK and its ideological enemy is the BJP. All eyes are on the 2026 elections to know whether Vijay will be able to make inroads in the state.
Well, to take this debate forward, we have an eminent panel joining us on the show today. We have DMK spokesperson Mr. Dharan joining us. We also have Ashwathaman, the spokesperson of the BJP. We also have Tanimoi, the spokesperson of the TVK. And we have political analyst Mr. Sumant Raman joining us on the show. Mr. Raman, I'll come to you first. As I mentioned in my opening remarks, he sidesteps crucial issues, whether it's the Deepam Rao, whether it's the Manrega being renamed and also the funding of it being reworked. He's totally sidestepped crucial issues and he's just criticized the DMK. Is it because the TVK is not very sure on what stance to take on some of these contentious issues, or do you think they want to just ensure that this ends up being a battle between DMK and TVK?
Harish, I'm not very sure what his objective is. I mean, obviously he wants to sort of target the DMK, which is very clear now, and he's now using Miss Jayalalitha's line. You know, she was the one who would call the DMK an evil force consistently in all her election campaigns. She would call them an evil force, and he's now literally borrowing that line and targeting the DMK. Having said that, the fact that he's not willing to take a stand on anything which is of importance to the state is a problem. You have got an election. If the elections were 3-4 years away,
Yes.
yes, you can do that and then bide your time and see which way the wind blows. Elections are 4 months away. And he's still not willing to take a stand. He's not willing to say whether he's in support of lighting the lamp at Tirupurangundram or he's not in support of it, or very similarly, whether it's Manrega, whether it's a whole lot of other issues on which the TVK has maintained studied
Yes.
silence. Again, a lot of today's speech was like a movie dialogue. You know, if you just close your eyes and listen to the speech today, it honestly is like watching one of his movies where he's reciting lines and punch dialogues coming in and so on. I'm not too sure how this will go down well with his fans. I have no doubt about it. The fans are love it. They come there and you can see the boisterous cheers that they give him when they turn up. So for his fans, for Gen Z, it makes a lot of sense. How the rest of the voters would react to this, where we still do not know where Vijay stands on most issues. We don't know what his plans are for the state, and the election is 4 months down the line. So, and very carefully, he did not go very hard after, although he did mention towards the end about the BJP. He's not targeted the AIADMK, he's not
Yes.
targeted the BJP very much. So, possibly there's an outside chance that he could still tie up with them. If he ties up with them, then the battle is done and dusted. It would be a sweep for such an alliance.
Absolutely. In fact, I'll come back to a few more points a little later. Let me bring in Tanimoi now. Ma'am, everybody expected him to articulate his thoughts and party stance on Tirupurakunram, on Manrega, and a whole list of issues. But why sidestep it? Perhaps his fans and even voters would want to know what's TVK's stance on these issues.
Good evening, everyone. So, about these questions, we are not against of any of the any of the people's belief towards their religious things. The court, the case is happening, and based on the verdict, the things will happen. So we don't want to discuss much about which is there under the court thing, and about the rest of the things which sir
Should the
was
court order be implemented, madam?
No, I was saying it is still under.
At least
still
on
under.
Manrega, the state will have to shell out 40% now.
So everything, whatever it's in the case, we don't want to discuss much about. In the today rally is for connecting with the people. So whatever the points he mentioned, it is for the people welfare, and he mentioned the issues which people were facing in the Erode, and he delivered that. He was saying it's a movie dialogue and all those things. It's not that. It's come from his heart. He came for people and he told that I am there with you, and these are all the points, or these are all the issues you were facing. So he was trying to give out, these are all the things which government was not doing it. Even the paddy thing recently happened due to lot of lack in the procurement centers and the delay in the procurement. Lot of paddy farmers were affected. Even day before yesterday, they held a protest in Trichy. So a lot of farmers were affecting, and Erode is a region where the cultivation happens of the turmeric and all those things. Even they were facing some of the problems, and their livelihood is not improved. That is what he mentioned over there, and that was very clear. And about he was saying like it is not giving impact or anything. It will attract only fans. No, all the people who are supporting TVK are not only his fans. People who wanted the change also supporting TVK, because they know the DMK has been continuously running on corruption scam and all those things.
You said he wanted to talk about people's issues.
Yeah,
and I'm
about
guessing,
the point, one
I'm
more
guessing
thing.
in Western Tamil Nadu, it will matter to them what happens to Manrega, how many days of work they'll get, especially with the country heading into summer early next year or a few months from now. Let me quickly bring in Dharani Dharan. Mr. Dharani Dharan, two aspects here. One, he talks about Mr. Periyar. And as Mr. Suman Sriraman is saying, he's perhaps borrowed a line from Jayalalitha calling DMK evil. You think this is something that will work for him? Because he's made it very clear that he sees it as a fight between DMK and TVK, and he's constantly, at least in this rally, he's constantly targeted the DMK.
Which reinforces the line which I always like to say. This election is about who will be the opposition party in Tamil Nadu, who will be the number 2. For Seeman, Nam Tamilar, the primary opposition is the DMK. For the BJP, the primary opposition is the DMK. For the AADMK, the primary opposition is the DMK. For the TVK, the primary opposition is the DMK. These are all parties, right, which are all fighting alongside DMK. So now one thing is certain is that the space for the opposition DMK is in part, the ADMK is the opposition force. So they used to, if they don't like the DMK, they used to rally with the ADMK. If they don't like the ADMK, they used to rally with the DMK. But now it so happened that the opposition space is empty. So is it going to be ADMK, or is it going to be ADMK plus BJP, or is it going to be TVK? So this is the election about which will say who will be the opposition force. So it's a good place for the DMK to be in. As far as I know, there is no major
isn't the DMK worried about the kind of turnout he's seeing?
See, turnout is different from actual electoral success. Let me tell you this. To win an election, you need grassroots strength. Right? Even for the BJP, that is done by the RSS in the states where the RSS is strong. So Tamil Nadu, both DMK and ADMK have strong grassroots strength, and now our grassroots strength has drastically improved. You need to have about 70,000 to 200,000 booth level workers? The interesting question here is, does the TVK have even like 10,000 booth level workers? So there are about 234 constituencies. Each constituency approximately has about 200 to 300 booths, which translates to about 60,000 to 1 lakh booth level workers. So do they have those workers who knows do they have legitimacy in the booth? Because people vote at the constituency level, not based on the chief ministerial candidate alone. They vote for the local MLA, not just the local MLA, but the local booth level guy. Because if after any party comes to power,
so you're saying the party organizes.
No, let me complete. If there are any grievances, who do they go to?
Okay.
The poor, the lower middle class can't approach the MLA or a minister whenever they want. They go to the booth level BLA2s, they go to the Kilai Sailalar, they go to the Undriya Sailalar. So does TVK have legitimate faces whom they can approach, whom the people will trust? That is an interesting question. And even Chiranjeevi had a lot of turnout. He couldn't win election. Simple reason being booth level. You may ask how MGR succeeded, but MGR, you have to remember, traveled with the DMK for 20 years. His the Rasigar Mandram worked with the DMK, and when he split AADMK, the grassroots cadre split horizontally, in the sense grassroots.
But sir, there's a possibility more leaders from established parties could join the TVK, just like
it's not about the leaders.
Sengotian.
No, that's a very interesting point, right? When Vaiko split the DMK, more than half the district secretaries went with Vaiko. But immediately after that, subsequent elections, he couldn't succeed well, simply because it's only the top level leadership that went, not the grassroots.
Okay.
So for election, what is pertinent is the grassroots workers, which the TVK does not have.
You're saying that is missing in TVK.
Yes.
I completely oppose that.
Okay, I'll quickly bring in Mr. Ashwathaman. Mr. Ashwathaman, one point that even Mr. Sumantraman highlighted. At the fag end of this rally, he talks about the BJP and other opposition parties. He's perhaps gone soft on the BJP and AIDMK is the feeling. He does not talk about some of the central laws that perhaps could affect Tamil Nadu along with other states, whether the Shanti bill, whether the Manrega renaming and reworking the funding of that entire act itself. Is this leaving a door open for an alliance sometime in the future?
Not an astrologer. I'm a politician. See, this kind of conspiracy theories. I think every party in Tamil Nadu stamped as a B team or a C team for BJP or like that. But now what I understand, what my understanding is that Vijay party should have some ideological move. They have to say what is their ideology. From the very beginning, we said to the Vijay TVK party that you took Kamaraja, you took Anjali Ammal, you took various other leaders, except E.V. Ramasamy. All other leaders you put in your banners are nationalistic leaders. Where is national ideology in your party? You are speaking about once you speaking about the Dravidian ideology, then you say the other hand you taking Tamil Desam. But where is the nationality? What is your ideology first of all? It cannot be said as ideology that two opposite poles. You should not take two opposite poles as your ideology. For a party, you should have some ideology. See, we have Indian ideology. That all parties.
But sir, is this rally giving BJP some hope?
No, it is not. I am not seeing that
that
hope
there could be
something.
alliance sometime in the future.
No. I am not seeing like that because anyway we are welcoming. If anybody come, we can welcome. But I am not seen as a signal that they are not speaking like that because the DMK is a evil force that no one in Tamil Nadu will deny it. That Mr. Vijay also says that no dispute at all because DMK means evil. My friend from DMK said, no, everyone opposing DMK. All the 6 crores voters also now opposing DMK because various issues in Tamil Nadu, various law and order problem, the police atrocities, drug issue, and various issues are there. Like that.
Mr. Sumantraman?
Even.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Ashwathaman, I'll come back to you. Mr. Suman Sriraman, the question now, perhaps one aspect that everybody wanted to see here, or also perhaps will watch very closely in the next few months, is can TVK and Vijay really negate the bad press and the criticism that came in from Karur and ensure that this entire campaign gets back on track? Have they started on a good note here in Erode, sir?
No, I think he needs to be more specific, Harish. I don't think that this kind of beating around the bush without taking a stand on anything and just going, with these kind of movie dialogues, I don't think that is enough to win an election. Yes, it will get him vote share. There is no doubt that he will get votes. There is no doubt that, if he stands alone, he can help the DMK to come back to power. And there is no doubt that if he aligns with the ADMK, he can become potentially even a deputy chief minister. Now, the bottom line is there enough? Can he recover enough from Karur to project himself as a chief ministerial candidate and win? The answer is clearly no. Very importantly, Harish, for the last 1.5 years, the TVK has been saying, we are open to alliances with anybody who accepts Vijay as a chief ministerial candidate. Not a single party has signed up. Why? So, I think that he's got to come down, be more realistic, and get into an alliance, possibly with the AIDMK, which will help him sweep the state. After that, what he does for the next 5 years depends on his performance when he is in power, because he can now share power, he can be held accountable, and later on, if he wants to, he can part ways with the AIDMK and try to stake out when he has been proven as an administrator, proven in governance, all of that. Right now, just whistling in the wind and saying that,
but do you believe,
the chief minister. Yeah.
But do you believe they're a little scared on how it will pan out? For example, if they take a stance on Tirupura they could either be called as appeasing minorities, or they could be called anti-Hindu, pro-Hindu. So there will be fallout if they take a stance on such a contentious issue. Do you think that's the worry that they have at this moment?
Obviously, that's the reason why he's sitting on the fence on everything. But the point is, you have to take a stance. I mean, how long can you go on without taking a stance on issues? These are the things that a political party will have to take a calculated risk. It may work out, it may not work out. But you can't say, I will not take any chance, I will not say anything about all these issues. See, the reason he has got away with it is because he doesn't meet the press, Harish. If he was meeting the press would have, first question would have been, where do you stand on Tirupura? Now he doesn't meet the press. So there is no press conference, there is no interview, nothing. Just these kind of movie dialogue speeches where he comes and shouts and makes an emotional kind of appeal, and that's about it. So I mean, I don't see this as sustainable. At some point he has to change track, correct himself. Maybe his advisors have told him that this itself will be enough to win an election. Good luck to them, but that certainly will not win him the election. It will get him a 10-15% vote
Yes.
share, but not more.
Yeah, Tanimoi, if he's catering, or if he wants to cater to Gen Z, if he wants to be different than other political parties and politicians, why not be upfront and candid about the stance he has on any of these issues, which really has resonated with several people and the masses?
Like I said, whichever it's in court, we are not going to discuss about that. See, we were against SIR because it is going to harm the people. We believe that, and we told that these are all the suggestions should be there, and the BLOs are like bombarded with the work and all those things. We went to court and we did that. So we do take a stance in most of the matters which is really needed. And in this case also, we will take a stance after what is being discussed in the court and all those things. Currently, it is in the court, so we don't want to discuss about this. And I am reiterating that we are not against any of the religious belief of any of the people. So coming to the point, Mr. The Salem Dharnidharan mentioned, like we don't have grassroots. We do have more than 67,000 BLAs with this, and we were working with people during the SIR, and I myself worked with some BLAs, and we went to door and ensured that they got the SIR form and they filled and they submitted.
Is there a worry within the BJP that this anti-DMK vote, perhaps a significant chunk of that will be taken away by TVK if you do not manage to stitch alliance together before election?
Maybe, perhaps it can be done to some extent, but we are very strong because we got 18% vote. BJP alone got by 12% vote in the last election, and as well as that, the ADMK is a big party in Tamil Nadu. The people will see who is the good alliance, who is the big alliance, who can be able to take the CM seat.
All right.
So the people will support us.
Okay. Okay, I'll give the final word to Mr. Dharnidharan. Mr. Dharnidharan, the other big takeaway from this rally has been that perhaps there is some bit of room left for alliance if all parties can come together, whether it's BJP, ADMK and TVK. Would that be a worry for DMK if that happens?
I can be only focused on what we deliver to the people. Based on that, we want to fight the elections. So we are not worried about the election arithmetic. But anyways, that's what alliance will form is all speculation. That time will tell. Our alliance is intact. My chief minister has done good work. And based on that, we have influenced the lives of nearly 8.4 crore Tamil people in a positive way. So we are going to election based on that. But I'll have to also tell you this. See, it's a political party. It can't be based on what about hating another party. You have to have an ideology. It could be an ideology that is against the DMK. There's an ideology of the my party. But you have to stand by that ideology. You need to have hardcore views on Tirupuragundram. Right? Was the decision of the government right or wrong? As simple as that. Was the Mandrega renaming right or wrong? Because it has to do with fiscal federalism. It's a very important issue in Tamil Nadu. Those are not said. As going further away from us as a spokesperson, as a youth, I would like to know what are the problems of Tamil Nadu. Okay, let's say across India, unemployment is a problem. Tamil Nadu does well. Okay, but even if that is, how are you going to fix unemployment? What is that you will do? Okay, you are saying that debt to GDP, I am saying has reduced, you are saying increased. Let me give it to you. But my point is, how will you reduce the debt to GDP? How will you increase the revenue? How will you make sure that you are going to bring private investment into the state? What is that you are going to do differently from what we have done? Saying we are doing wrong, how is that you would say that you will increase the morale of the police? Okay, there is the whole of India, the problem with the police is that we have very low police for personnel per 1 lakh people. So how is that you are going to increase that personnel? How is that you'll be able to deliver a better governance? If we compare to 16 to 21, we have done a better job. You are saying this is not sufficient. Then you will have to give me and tell me how is that you will give a better governance. What is the credibility that you possess, and what is the idea that you have, the plan that you have? You have to give a workable plan. You can come and promise anything, but this is the funding that the state gets. State gets about 3 lakh to 4 lakh crores. So how is that you will increase the revenue? You have to give a plan. And after increasing,
I'm afraid I'm out of time.
Pardon?
All right. I'm absolutely out of time, in fact. But one thing is clear. He's delivering a few lines at these rallies. He's getting a great reaction from his fans and workers who are at these rallies. But at some point in time, he perhaps has to get back to specifics and also make it very clear what the TVK and Vijay himself have to say about some of these contentious issues in Tamil Nadu and also some of them bothering the country. Thank you, Mr. Dharnidharan, Mr. Suman Sri Raman, Mr. Tanimoi, and Mr. Ashwathaman for joining us on this show. Well, that was the top story of the week, and there were several other stories from South India that hit the national headline. Even as we end the show, time to look at all those stories in a quick roundup. Thank you for watching.
Politics over Tirupurukundram issue is only snowballing, with the Tamil Nadu government arguing before the court that the fundamental question in connection with the Deepathoon is whether it is the real Deepathoon and that there is no proof of that. So that was also submitted before the Madurai bench earlier today. However, the Madurai bench has reserved the orders after hearing arguments from all the stakeholders in connection with the Tirupurukundram issue. Meanwhile, 40-year-old Purna Chandran had taken his own life because he was not able to light the Deepam at the Deepathoon. Police investigation confirms that he died by suicide, and this was based on the audio recordings that he sent to his friends, and he took his own life near the Periyar statue. And in the audio he said that Periyar is someone who did not believe in God. I am someone who believes in God, especially in Lord Muruga, and therefore this is going to be a way of my saying that I want the lamp to be lit at the Deepathoon. So based on that, police have confirmed that he died because of the Tirupurukundram controversy.
This after the couple had a long legal battle for almost about 1.5 years. Now, the inspector has been suspended pending investigation. The opposition has raised this issue and stating that the Chief Minister is supporting the criminals in the police. The 30th edition of the International Film Festival of Kerala has come to an end. This time there were controversies related to certain movies not getting exemption certificate from the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. Initially there were 19 movies, mostly which told stories about Palestine. Later, only 6 movies did not get the exemption certificate.
A 64-year-old High Court advocate died in a road accident caused by rash driving near Sanjay Nagar in Bengaluru. The Sanjay Nagar traffic police have registered an FIR against the driver of the car, identified as 19-year-old engineering student Shishir Patil, under relevant sections of the BNS for overspeeding and negligent driving. Police say the CCTV footage shows the victim being hit as he steps out of a shop. The victim, identified as Ramachandra Reddy, died on the spot. 3 other vehicles that were damaged have been seized and investigation is underway. Worms were found in a midday meal served to students at a government higher primary school in Koppal district, Karnataka, triggering outrage among parents. The worms were reportedly found in both the rice and sambar served to students, with allegations that the worms had been cooked along with the meal. Parents blamed negligence on part of the midday meal staff and demanded strict action. A video of the food with worms has gone viral on social media, prompting calls for stricter monitoring of the midday meal scheme to ensure children's safety.